Hello and welcome back to our series on how to analyze Likert scale data using Excel. In this series, we've got a series of very short videos that show you one more thing, taking it one step at a time, for what you can do with your Likert scale data in Excel. And what we're going to look at in this one is how to look at subgroup totals using pull-down menus. In our last video, we learned about the countifs, where we wrote the formulas over here. If you click up in the formula bar, it shows you we are counting if the grade is 6, the gender is male, and the response is strongly agree. And then we just copied this and fixed where the grade and gender were referring to, and we could do this for every subgroup there is. But we're going to show you a better way for exploring your data with the different subgroups. So I'm going to delete these because we don't need them. And we're going to use data validation. And data validation is something on the data tab that lets us create a pull-down menu and choose which grade we want to have here. And then these will just update because they refer back to that cell. So click in that cell, go to your data tab, and it's not labeled, but here on data tools, it probably would be if your screen were bigger than what mine is, but this right here is data validation. You want to click on that. And what this does, this lets us specify what to put in a pull-down menu in this cell. Right now it's set to allow any value in that cell, which is the default, but we're going to change it to a list. And then we put here for the source, we could click somewhere. If we had a huge list that we wanted in the pull-down menu, we would write it somewhere and then just go select it. We would write it in the Excel workbook. But we just have 6, 7, 8. And that's short, so I'm just going to write it here. And see, now it's a pull-down menu of 6, 7, and 8. So if I select 7, since these are referring to that cell, we now have the 7th grade males. Pull it down, the 8th grade males. And if we want this to pull between male and female, use data validation. Tell it I want a list in there of male, female. And now that's also pull down. So here you can easily look at different grades and different genders without having to write this formula however many times it would be to get all possible combinations. And you can imagine this is really handy if you've got a lot of different schools. You can make a pull down menu of the schools and do the school, the grade, the gender, just countless, whatever you want to look at. And I said we would do percents, so I'll go ahead and add that here. We have so little data here. This is all fake data anyway. I should have made more of it, but it's okay for now. It doesn't matter how much data you have. The formulas are the same. So to do the percents, let's get a total rather than putting the sum in the formula. Either way works. Total, I'm going to put equals the sum of this. And pull it across, and so that changes as we change these. And now for the percents, let's do equals what's in that cell over the total, but the total has to have a $sign on the row, because when we pull it down we need it to stay in row 8. When we pull it across, we want the P to increment. And we want it to be percents, so back on the home tab, percent sign, and we want all these to be percents. And now pull it across. See how uninteresting my data is? I hardly have any. But let's just make sure it updates. See, it'll update for you as you pull down the menu. And as simple as that was, people find this very impressive. The other stuff, like some of the stuff, can be really hard and no one's impressed at all. But you put a pull down menu that then data automatically updates. Even though it's the simplest thing in the world, they're still impressed.